New on Blu-ray from Arrow Video is a film I'd seen before years ago. Kind of shocking when I did the math on how long ago I've seen this, from the year 2000, which is now, in case you hadn't heard, 21 years ago, comes JSA, Joint Security Area. It's a South Korean film from director Park Chan-wook, who did most recently The Handmaiden, which I loved, Old Boy, which is a classic of sorts now, and the two Vengeance. I think there's three. Vengeance trilogy, isn't it? Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Lady Vengeance, and another kind of vengeance. This is a film, as I said, I'd seen before, but I remembered nothing about this. So it opens up basically where this North Korean soldier is discovered ragged on a bridge that connects the border between North Korea and South Korea. He claims he was kidnapped and roughed up and had to shoot his way out of this I don't know what you'd call it, cabin where some North Korean soldiers were. Did I say North Korea? At any rate, it's a South Korean soldier who shot his way out of North Korean territory, and it's an international incident, and it could lead to war. So the, what do you want to call it? The neutral peacekeeper, a Swedish, I believe, a woman of Swedish Korean descent comes in, and she is there to investigate and try to determine impartially exactly what happened. So you have the surviving North Korean soldier's word against the surviving South Korean soldier's word, and it's a little bit of a Rashomon kind of thing. As she talks to these people, you see their recounting of events, how they say it happened, and then eventually we kind of settle into the groove, and you see the real story of what happened, and the film unfolds. A good section of the film unfolds in flashback. So yeah, I remembered nothing about this at all, and I was glad, because this was really good. I mean, Park Chan-wook makes really good movies, so that shouldn't be a surprise, but it was really sad and depressing ultimately. What the film really, I don't really want to get into anything about the actual plot, which is hard. It makes it hard to talk about, but I don't want to give it away, because the discovery of what really happened in the film is the big aha, and it really draws you into the story. Initially, these are just soldiers who are very cold and, giving little more than name, rank, and serial number. They give more than that, but they talk in a very emotionless way about what happened and what they say happened. And then you see the flashback, and you see that these are people. And what this film really gets at is that borders and propaganda and ideologies are a load, and people are people, and overall we all want the same thing. And when people can throw down cast off the shackles of national identity and politics and other things, there's a hell of a lot of common ground. Unfortunately, tragedy arises in the story of that common ground, and the film takes on, you kind of know where it's going, but when you see really how it all went down, it's extremely sad and depressing. So I'm recommending to you a very sad and depressing movie, but really good. Yes, it's subtitled. I don't think there's an English language option in this, but there were sections that are in English. Didn't bother me at all. It's just a really good movie. This film has a boatload of extras. There's a newly recorded critic commentary about the film, and gives you context for Park Chan-wook, and it gives you context for the political aspects of the film, North Korea, South Korea, the border, all that stuff. And then you have a lot of vintage extras. This film was released in 2000, so this film came out in the DVD era. And you see that for a lot of these reissues of older films. And I like this, that they poured over all of the extras that were on the previous release. So you can take that Hong Kong or Korean or whatever other release this film has had, and just see how far it can go, because those extras are all on here. So they call them music videos, but they're really songs from the soundtrack, or contemporary songs to when the film came out, with a lot of behind the scenes and making of footage. There's a lot of behind the scenes and making of footage and interviews and things like that. So there's a lot of context and how this got made material on it. But at the core is a really, really good movie that I don't think many people really know. It's it's a political movie, it's a military movie, but ultimately it's just about people, and that's pretty damn universal. And what you see in the film is pretty universal in terms of human behavior and hopes and dreams and things like that. So I pretty highly recommend this new Arrow Video Blu-ray of JSA, Joint Security Area.